3/4 of American teenagers have used AI chatbot companions. Let that sink in for a moment. We're not talking about kids asking ChatGPT for homework help. These are digital friends, therapists, and confidants that millions of teens are turning to instead of humans. A groundbreaking study just dropped this week showing that 72% of teens between 13 and 17 have tried AI companions at least once. But here's where it gets wild. More than half are regular users. That means the majority of American teenagers are actively chatting with artificial beings designed to simulate human relationships. So what exactly are AI companions? Think of them as chatbots on steroids. Unlike your standard virtual assistant that helps you set reminders or check the weather, these platforms create characters you can have deep, ongoing conversations with. Some teens chat with fictional anime characters, others create custom personalities, and many develop what feels like genuine friendships with these digital entities. The numbers tell a fascinating story. Among regular users, 13% of teens are chatting with their AI companions every single day. Another 21% log on several times a week. That's more engagement than most social media platforms dream of achieving. But why are teens flocking to these platforms? The research reveals three main reasons. First, entertainment. 30% of teens say they use AI companions just for fun. Second, curiosity about the technology draws in 28% of users. They want to see what all the fuss is about. And third, 18% are seeking actual advice from these digital friends. Here's where things take an unexpected turn. 1/3 of teen users report finding conversations with AI companions just as satisfying or more satisfying than talking to real friends. Think about that. For millions of teenagers, a computer program provides the same emotional fulfillment as human connection. The study surveyed over 1,000 participants between April and May 2025, painting a picture of how quickly this technology has moved from Silicon Valley experiment to teenage bedroom staple. What started as a niche curiosity has exploded into mainstream behavior practically overnight. Perhaps most revealing is what teens are sharing with these AI companions. Nearly a quarter have disclosed personal information, real names, locations, deep secrets. 33% have chosen to discuss serious personal matters with AI instead of turning to friends or family. These aren't casual conversations about homework or hobbies. Teens are opening up about their deepest fears, anxieties, and dreams to algorithms. Yet here's the paradox. While teens are pouring their hearts out to these digital confidants, half of them don't actually trust the advice they receive. They know on some level that they're talking to software, not a real person, but that doesn't stop the emotional connection from forming. The timing of this study couldn't be more critical. Character.AI, one of the biggest players in the AI companion space, is facing lawsuits over a Florida teenager's suicide and allegations that their platform encouraged violence in Texas. These aren't hypothetical risks anymore. They're real tragedies affecting real families. 34% of teen users reported feeling uncomfortable with something an AI companion said or did. That's more than 1 in 3 kids having negative experiences, yet they keep coming back. The platforms are designed to be sticky, generating user engagement that exceeds general AI assistance by more than 10 times. Younger teens seem particularly vulnerable. The 13 and 14-year-olds in the study were more likely to trust AI advice compared to older teens. At an age when kids are still figuring out who they are and how the world works, they're turning to artificial intelligence for guidance. Common Sense Media, the organization behind the study, isn't pulling punches with their recommendations. They're calling for a complete ban on AI companion use for anyone under 18 until stronger safeguards are in place. That's a pretty radical stance. But when nearly 3/4 of teens are already using these platforms, is it even realistic? The industry shows no signs of slowing down. New platforms keep launching, including recent entries from Elon Musk's xAI and a startup called Tolan that just raised $20 million specifically targeting teen users. The market sees dollar signs where researchers see red flags. What makes this phenomenon so complex is that it's not all doom and gloom. For some teens, especially those struggling with social anxiety or living in isolated areas, AI companions provide a judgment-free space to express themselves. They can practice conversations, work through emotions, and feel heard in ways they might not in their daily lives. But the question remains, at what cost? When a third of teens find conversations with AI companions as satisfying as human ones, and when serious personal matters are being shared with algorithms instead of people, are we witnessing a fundamental shift in how young people connect? The rapid adoption suggests this isn't just a passing fad. With 52% of teens as regular users, AI companions have achieved the kind of market penetration that most technologies take years or even decades to reach. This happened in months, not years. Parents and educators are scrambling to understand what this means. Most adults have never even heard of AI companions, let alone use them. Meanwhile, their kids are developing deep emotional connections with digital entities, sharing secrets they won't tell anyone else. The timing feels almost dystopian, as concerns about teen mental health reach crisis levels, as social media faces intense scrutiny for its impact on young minds. Here comes another digital phenomenon capturing teenage attention and emotional energy. What's particularly striking is how this technology fills gaps that shouldn't exist in the first place. Teens seeking advice, companionship, and understanding from AI suggests something deeper about modern adolescence. Are real-world support systems failing? Are human connections becoming too complicated or judgmental? The platforms themselves operate in a regulatory gray zone. Unlike social media, which at least has some age restrictions and content moderation requirements, AI companions exist in largely uncharted territory. The technology is evolving faster than laws can keep up. As this story develops, one thing is clear. We're witnessing a massive experiment in real time with America's youth as the test subjects. The results won't be fully understood for years, maybe decades. By then, an entire generation will have grown up with AI companions as a normal part of their social landscape. The big question isn't whether teens should be using these platforms. That ship has sailed with 72% adoption. The question is how society adapts to a reality where artificial relationships compete with human ones for teenage attention and affection. What do you think about teens turning to AI for companionship? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's Tuesday afternoon in suburban America, and somewhere a teenager is telling their deepest secrets to a chatbot instead of a friend. That's the world we live in now. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.